Hello! Today we're going to have a look at Crumbling Farum Azula from a level design and world design perspective. We are currently at the start of Farum Azula. When we have a look at the map, we are right here on this bridge part, and we have to explore this whole area. I'm not sure if I can do this in one part, maybe I need two parts, but let's just start. Crumbling Farum Azula is, well, as it says, it's crumbling, it's in a bad shape, and on top of that, it is in the sky. There is a big tornado in the middle and two other tornadoes outside. I think there are two, yeah. Can only see two right now, plus this one big one in the middle. And, well, the whole place is, I think, stuck in time, something like this. That's the reason why everything is floating. Maybe that's the reason, I don't really know. Could also be like, what's it called, gravity magic, but stuck in time is probably the better explanation here. And we can already see there is a dead dragon here. We will encounter a few dragons going through this area. Well, with we, I mean not me, because, well, From Software likes to patch their games currently a lot, and this means that the Seamless Co-op mod is not working, at least not for me. It crashes for me every time, so I have to use one of my characters from the live game. Well, and I've already beaten this area, so let's have a look first. We are on this bridge part, and this is the one and only time I'm pointing this out right now. And I've said it so many times. First of all, these correlations make no sense. Like, they're a bit better for the Beastmen. They might work here. Not here. I'm not gonna talk about this. I've said this many times in previous videos where we had a look at castles and whatnot, and if you want to know why these correlations are pretty bad, have a look at these videos. And the only thing that I'm gonna say right now again is there are missing doors here, probably, like here for example. This is a bridge part, probably connecting now a missing tower or a missing landmass to this part over here, but there's no way getting in here, so, like, go figure. But this game already likes, like, the developers like to fuck things up, apparently. Like missing doors, missing pathways, architecture that doesn't really make any sense. And apparently Farum Azula has no big difference to that, but it's a bit more forgivable because this city, or whatever this area is crumbling. It's actively being destroyed by a tornado or got destroyed and whatnot, right? So there are a lot of missing parts. Understandable. And we are apparently in some sort of mausoleum right now, because there are a lot of, well, skeletons, a lot of dead bodies being buried. Like, there are a lot of skeletons right here. It looks like a mausoleum or a crypt or some sort. What even is the difference between these different things, right? And I'm gonna have a look at the architecture right here now, because, well, the architecture, we're in one area, the architecture is everywhere basically the same, just with different things. Having a look at the architecture right here, we can see they like their fine details on their stone, which is nice. I can't really make out what this is depicting here, like on the side. But it looks fancy, I guess. Maybe some dragon claws up here, the ornament up here. But other than that, oh no, here, that's a bit better. Down here, I think it looks like, what the fuck is that? That looks weird. Looks like snake-leg features, but the bigger one, like this one over here, right above my head, right? It has 2 legs, then a snake-like body. It is holding a sword, I guess? It's so hard to see. I don't even know what this is supposed to be. And the other thing, something snake, maybe snake, I don't know. Looks like a snake to me, some sort of snake. And then of course we have a lot of tombstones here, because apparently this whole place is a burial site of some sort, right? And I think, by the looks of it, from the outside, don't ask me where the staircase is going, apparently into this rock right there. Maybe it would go down there, like make a turn, make another turn, go down this way, probably. But this whole place was once underground, apparently, or I guess so, because there are a lot of rock formations here, and either they built this in the face side of a rock, or just this whole thing here is now underground, or not now, but was underground before it got ripped out of the ground and lifted into the air. And I'm going to talk about this big ass tornado later. But having a look at the enemies right here, we have a lot of beastmen here. Well, this whole city is made by beastmen apparently, so of course they're here. And having a look at them, they look quite not sophisticated, they look quite wild, but they have like gold rings and whatnot around them. And quite the fancy looking weapon design. Plus they have braids like this, so they're not that dumb. They're a bit more primal, but well, look at the architecture, they can build stuff. Quite the interesting society and culture they have here. Yeah, let's talk about this tornado later on. Going through here, we have our grace over here, just a room for 1 grace. Maybe this is a like just a room where you can put stuff in, like, I don't know. Like, do they plan rooms like from a world perspective, right? Not a gameplay, like not the devs, the people that are building this place. Can they see a grace and they see, oh, there's a grace, we need to build a room around it, or how does it work? Is it just here for gameplay reasons? I quite frankly have no idea. And I think now's a good time to talk about, first of all, what this building is, and why, like, the building we just came out of, here we can see it should be underground, or at least inside the face of a cliff, like built inside a cliff, and now we are on a different path or part of the whole building. Let's see. It's quite hard to see from here, but apparently, yeah. Were we just inside that? We went from here. This one is unreachable, this part, and we went just inside of this thing, yeah. So, probably the room we just went through would connect to a path that is underneath us. Because it's basically, as we can see on the map, it's just this whole, like, half circle, I call it a half circle now, was once connected right here, and this part we were on before got lifted up, right? So we have the same half circle structure that we have right here up there. At least it looks like it. Maybe if I'm wrong, so be it. And this is quite the interesting area because the tornado's getting pretty loud. That's unsettling. Let's not look at this. When I can't see it, it doesn't exist, right? Let's have a look at the ground, because this is like... You can walk here. This is clearly a path you can walk. Well, Not right now, but you know what I mean. And then they have this bowl-shaped slope that's going downstairs or downhill with all those big skeletons buried or half buried in these very detailed half graves, maybe. Quite interesting architecture. On here we have a lot of tombstones, gravestones, whatever, like just a lot of them, just to be a wall, I guess. And on this platform here we have our first, not really a boss fight, because we can, there are no fog gates, there's no big health bar, but here we have, usually we can fight a very strong dragon, ancient dragon. As I said, I've already beaten them, so it's fine. They're gone. They can't hurt you anymore. Then, next room, more of the same architecture, like tombstones, random ass chains hanging from the ceiling with cloths on them. It doesn't look like there's something written on them. And more burial stuff right here, and a different type of variation, a variation of the beastman with a shield this time, in the form of an urn. Looks like a half of an urn, but it's actually a shield. And now the map opens a little bit, or the next part opens a little bit. You see, Farum Azula's a fairly linear area with some branches, but it's not like Stormvale Castle. Well, Stormvale Castle is the best example for this, where you have like 20 different ways to get to one point. This is not the case. This is mostly linear, and when it comes to a bigger building like this, for example, or the building that is underneath here that we can go through, in this building itself we have a few more paths that we could go. For example, excuse me, for example, you can get on this roof part here and explore this building from above and see what's down there, or we can go right into the building. And back to the architecture. This is a bit odd to me, because here we have pictures of, or carvings of humans, but there are beastmen inside, so was this once occupied by humans and they slowly transformed into beastmen, or did the beastmen capture them, or is this just a reused asset? Like, what's the lore behind this, or is it just like, we need to put something in here? Like, was this intentional, or is this just an oopsie, right? Maybe you have some ideas to that, because I don't. Because I just have a look at things. I'm not reading item descriptions. I mean, I do, but for the sake of this video, I'm not. And I honestly don't know the answer anymore. So going through here, we basically have two ways we can go. This one leads to nothing. We can go this way, further into the level, or we can go the bad way, this way, and we can explore this part down here. Let's take the bad way first. And right now we are obviously not underground anymore, because we actually have a roof, and this is a building that is not underground, other than the part we just went through, like not up here, but inside. Especially this part. Let's go down here and talk about nature, or colors in general here, because the color scheme of Farum Azula is basically just gray. Different types of gray, a little bit of brown in here. The nature is also mostly red, muted red, so there's nothing poking out, except some fire like this. And later on, a few muted greens, like, as you can see, everything is basically dying or well, at least not living anymore. And in this little park area or garden area, whatever you want to call this one, this is not like, there are no buildings here. We have this enemy type, the worm face, and ugh. I don't know about you, the design looks amazing and quite disgusting, but I don't like this enemy type at all. Because they like puking up Death Blight, and Death Blight is just a mechanic like, oh, it can instantly kill me, oh, that's so much fun. And they spam this attack, like the Death Blight attack. It's not fun to fight them, at least not for me. Not my cup of tea. If you like them, good for you, I guess. I don't. There's not that much to talk about this garden part, other than look at this random ass ladder over here, leading up there. And you can just go up there, grab an item, jump down these rocks and land on the other side, which I will go to now as well. It's basically just a little lake over here. Don't ask me how there's still coming water out of this rock. At some point this part must be empty of water, right? How does this place generate infinite water? I want to know. Show me your secrets. Usually there's a big ass boss enemy worm face here, but as I said, I've killed it already. Oh yeah, here we have the big ass waterfall. And this is odd. Let's talk about this, because this feels strange to me, like over here, like this part in the water that we can see right now. There's a big ass waterfall there. And this feels so random. And because there's a waterfall now, means that you can't, like when you come with a ship, you can't get in here. Which means you can't even put a dock or something like inside this circle, because there's no way getting in and out. Like, you can only go from like north to south, south to north, whatever. But that's not Farum Azula. I just wanted to point that out. We have this pavilion thingy over here, whatever it's called, and nothing else basically. It leads to nothing. This is basically just to get a specific item or get a few items, and that's it. And alright, there's just another dragon a dragon platform that I need to point out, and then we're out of here. Come on. Ugh. So disgusting. Are you just vomiting for fun there? I think they had too much to drink here. And I don't like... I mean, a few of these is fine, but they like to put them everywhere. When there's an area with a worm face, then there are 10 million other worm faces. And then we can, of course, from here we can jump to this platform and fight a lesser ancient dragon without the lightning attacks. And you should fight them. Even if you don't like the dragons, it makes it another area or another dragon a bit easier. And these elevators, thank God they're still functioning, despite this place being ripped out of the ground and possibly destroying the mechanism behind that. But if you've watched my other videos, you know my my hatred towards elevators in these games. And hatred is... I don't mean that, I don't hate them, but they could be better, right? And now let's go through here to this place, and now let's talk about this big ass tornado. Why not, right? Oh, there are 3 other tornadoes now. Okay, I haven't seen the 4th one or the 3rd one, whatever you want to call this. And this is the amazing part about this area, quite, right? Imagine this tornado was gone. Then this area would be not as interesting as it is right now, because this creates like some sort of scale and like a... and it feels like an unnatural power. Usually tornadoes are something natural, right? But it feels unnatural. This one is so big. And you wonder what happened here. And also, like, I guess if you have a particular type of fear, then this one is horrifying to you. And I can get the horrifying part, like, it looks extremely brutal, holy shit. Well, let's keep going, let's keep going. Well, oh no, this was the right way. Because usually, the people here, like, this way wasn't intended. Of course it was intended by the developers, but not by the beastmen or people who ever built this one. Like, this is a new path created by the... whatever. By the tornado or whatnot. Because we can jump down here. And now we have a different enemy type. Generic skeletons with a different skin. Isn't that great? These are basically your generic skeletons that we see in areas like Summonwater Village, for example, but they have a beastman skin. But the attacks should be the same. And I really don't know what this is supposed to be like the... It looks like... it looks weird, right? The architecture or the type of burying, I don't know, like... what is this supposed to be? It looks like edgy art, but it also looks like martyrdom or like some sort of crucifixion, I don't know. This looks like something you would find in a Diablo game or some sort, like something hellish or unnatural. I wonder what the idea behind that is. Is this a punishment for the people, or is this like... yeah, what is this, so to speak? Then we can go down here. Luckily, these things have been stopped in time so we can walk on them. And now we have a few different options. We are again in some sort of half circle thingy that we were on right here. This time with a different layer, and I think this proves it that I was correct. Like this part down here is a similar walkway that we had on inside here, like where this part is underground and this part would have been above ground we are in right now. And I think this is when we later go to the Dragonlord plus Deus Ex fight. I think this is supposed to be maybe a part of the platform we are fighting Deus Ex on, although this looks very like a very clean cut right here, so maybe I'm wrong. But let's keep going. And again, this feels like to me like it's not part of a space you live in, more like a place you can work or worship or whatever they're doing here. Like, this doesn't look like just a house to live in, right? It looks more like a temple, a church, mausoleum, something like this, right? If you get what I'm saying. And here it opens up a little bit more, because underneath this whole place, underneath, I mean above us, we can walk. I think we can walk above us as well, which is depicted here, but underneath there's a lot of stuff. Maybe am I wrong? Am I right? I don't know. No, I'm right, yeah. Here is a lift going upstairs and then we can walk, yeah, okay. Because here we can, potentially, we can jump down there, get down here and walk down here. Or we can keep on going over here. Then there's the opportunity to jump down. Maybe not. Maybe not here. But it opens up here. The level opens up here a little bit. And I'm not going every single branch. The enemy type we're unlocking here is the Banished Knight. I guess every variant of the Banished Knight is over here. And this is interesting because here we have different ways getting into the boss room. We can jump down here, but when we explore the area a bit further, we see many different, or not many, but a few more paths leading into the boss arena itself. For example, here's a path, on the other side is a path, and I think somewhere there's another path leading into the arena itself, but you get the point, right? It's opening up quite a lot from here. Maybe we can see it from inside. There was one area, one here, the balcony up there, one is there, one should be, I guess, right here, right? You can summon a particular NPC here, Bernal, the Bernal that you are finding in the Volcano Manor. And you can just explore this place. This is basically just underground-ish, or maybe not underground-ish, but it looks like it was once underground. Or at least at the built alongside a cliffside, something like this. And where's the boss arena? Here's the boss arena, nice. And inside the boss arena you fight none other than the Godskin duo. Yay. Repeat bosses that we've already seen before. Just now, 2 of them. Isn't that great? I don't like it either. If you like the boss fight or not, I would rather have a unique boss here. Like, do they want to replicate Ornstein and Smough? It looks a bit like the Ornstein and Smough arena, doesn't it? From Dark Souls 1. You have these different pillars here we can hide behind, which can be destroyed by the enemies. You can brain line of sight with them. It is just like the Ornstein and Smough arena. And it feels like a bootleg Ornstein and Smough to me. But here we can see the different boss design compared to previous titles, because this was built with, well, it feels like this boss fight was built with the, what are they called, with the spirit ashes in mind. Where you can summon the spirit ashes, they take aggro from one of them and you fight the other one. Or like they're designed to be done in co-op, right? Of course, they still need to be viable for the people who don't want to summon anything. But really, this boss fight, I mean, you can sleep one of them, for example. You can put one to sleep and then you have basically a one-on-one with the other one. But this boss fight was just not intuitive at all, I think. I don't like it. And this room, like, there is a dragon skull in here. It looks like it's made out of stone, but is it? Or is it a literal head of a dragon turned to stone now? Maybe one or the other. If it's a real skull, how did they get it in here? Like, did they carry it through one of these doors? Well, or it doesn't look like it just broke through the roof or the side of the wall there. It doesn't fit through these windows, so it's a mystery. How did this thing get in here? And now again it's getting a little bit more like one-way-ish. In here we had a lot of options to get into the boss arena itself. It is basically just a few branches, nothing special there. And, ooh, a different variant. This one has a... Alright, yeah. These are quite interesting. Because here we have a variant with lightning infusion, and then these dudes can throw these things. They throw them, and I kind of wish this was a weapon that we could use. Something that we could somehow infinitely reproduce to throw, like ammunition of some sort. I don't know. Would be a fun weapon to have. But yeah, let's just keep going. There's currently not that much to talk about, or at least not for me. Actually, there is, because here we have a statue of an ancient dragon. At least the upper half of the ancient dragon, with one set of wings. Usually they have, I think 2 or 3 sets of wings, maybe 2 at least. About 3 I'm not quite sure, but more than 1 pair. But on the other hand, there's half of them is missing, so well, maybe they have this. But again, this is just another piece of worship, place, whatever you want to call this. Church, tomb, mausoleum, crypt, whatever the difference is, like. And we have beast clergymen over here, like Gurang. Statues of them, at least. And this is again strange, because here we have dragon imagery, beastman imagery, and then on the wall again, human imagery. So were humans living here or whatever? I don't know. Here we also have the strongest version of the beastman. Let's just call them the beastman warrior with the big ass weapon. They're quite tougher, and they were a boss in previous areas down in the lands between down here. And here we have another big branch, whatever. We can go down here into this area, or we can go up to this place, and I think we're going up to that place now. And once we are done there, I basically cut this video in half, because apparently shorter videos are a little bit better than like 1.5 hour long videos. So, and I think now every variant is finished. Like we have a throwing dude with lightning infusion and a shield. That's quite interesting. Nice that they can swap them so easily. Oh, there was a lightning dude as well. Missed this one. But doesn't really matter. Let's take this elevator. That, by the way, we can unlock via a stone sword key. Just a question to you. Do you like the stone sword key edition? To me, they feel like... well, it's basically the same question, or a similar question to, do you like the Pharos blockstones from Dark Souls 2? Because they served a similar purpose. But I don't really like them. I like the fact that that there are so many available in this game. Like, where are they? Key items? Yeah, I have 19 left. Like, you're getting more than you need, which is nice, but I'm not a fan of them. But okay, let's keep walking here. Because I don't know, is this interesting? It feels like once you've seen one area, you've seen every area here. Because yes, this one is above ground with a well of some sort, or whatever you want to call them, or fountain. This is here like a garden-ish area, right? You have a lot more nature here. This is above ground. You have trees here, you have grass, and more skeletons, so... well... and this looks like, or this could be... oh, this whole area looks like a graveyard. Like, to be honest, this one again looks like a crypt of some sort or a mausoleum. I don't know what's the difference between crypt and mausoleum. Do I need to Google this? I'm not. Maybe I am, but not now. So, I don't know, this whole area, this complete Farum Azula feels like a city for the dead, like a necropolis of some sort. Like, buried beastmen everywhere, like everything mausoleum-like, everything churchish-like, like worship place. It doesn't feel like a city, it doesn't feel like a governing part. It feels like a place to pray and to honor the dead, basically. There's no living space here, there's no... I don't know, other places like taverns and stuff like this, like normal buildings, quote-unquote normal buildings. Doesn't feel like that at all. Ah, shit. Down here, there is... oh, there is actually... does this one respawn? Oh, I don't know why I haven't killed this one. I don't know if it respawns or not. But here we have a dragon, and a small one on top of that. Look how small this head is. Isn't that cute? Isn't that one cute? Can I keep this one? I can't wake him up, or can I? Can I wake them up? No. No, I changed the team type, so I'm team nothing right now. But not even with fall damage. Ah, unlucky. But he has, I think, 2 different sets of wings, right? Yeah, 1 wing there, 1 wing there. Okay, 2 different sets, or 2 sets of wings. You can fight this dragon, then... and there's a reason to fighting these dragons, like a gimmick mechanic, so to speak. Come on, let me jump up here. We can walk across these structures over here to backtrack basically a little bit. Here we can fight or finish Alexander's quest on this platform. And then we can backtrack to the building over there to get... basically we backtrack back to this part over here to grab stuff. Just to grab items. Like nothing special there. So, and I think this is part 1 of Farum Azula, and part 2 is following shortly. I guess I upload this one day later or something like this. I guess I need to space out my content further, or maybe not, I don't know. So, see you in episode 2.